Now we will be talking about that why we are calling it as a transistor. So I'm writing here spelling Transistors. Okay, so now we will be talking about that why we are calling it as a transistor. Okay, so I can say this word transistor is been originating from the word transfer resistor. Okay, so I'm highlighting this that this is the transistor is being derived from this word transfer resistor. Okay, and we will going to see that how this is being known as the transfer resistor. So for this first we have to consider the transistor. So I'm saying that I will be having one transistor. Okay, so let me draw it an NPN transistor. So I'm using a N, then I will be writing a P, and then I will be writing this N. Okay, and what I will be doing, I will be separating this NPN transistor like this. Okay, and when we are talking about the NPN transistor, okay, if you remember that in N type semiconductor, okay, we have got a electron as a majority charge carrier. Okay, so I'm writing here majority is my electron, and you remember I have represented it by the N. Okay, and when we are talking about the PNP transistor, so I'm drawing here my P and P transistor, and I'm separating it like this. So I can say in my P type, we have got a holes as a majority charge carrier. Okay, the whole are the majority. So let me focus on this NPN transistor right now. So we have seen that whenever we are talking about this NPN transistor, we say that in this NPN transistor, this NP, okay, so this when we are talking about this NP, they will going to create a junction, okay, so it will going to create a junction here. So this junction I am representing as J1, and this will going to create a junction here. So I'm using this junction as J2. So when we are talking about this N type, so if I have to make this N type a forward biased, what I have to do is that I have to connect this with the negative terminal of the battery. Okay, and this will going to make my junction J1 into a forward bias. So this is my forward junction. And similarly, when we are talking about the reverse bias, so I'm making this junction that is between P and N as a reverse bias. So I'm making it like this. Okay, so my J2 is my reverse bias. So if you remember, then we have talked about the forward junction, and we have seen that forward junction offer a low resistance. So I'm saying it offer a low resistance. And when we are talking about the reverse biased, okay, so I'm writing here reverse biased. Okay, so I can say that this reverse bias condition will going to offer me a high resistance. Just for the sake of completeness, I am writing it as a forward biased, and I'm talking it as a reverse biased. Okay, so we have seen that when we are talking about the forward junction, or we are saying that we are talking about the forward bias condition, we say that it provide a low resistance path, and when we are talking about the reverse bias junction, we say it provide a high resistance path. And now what we are saying is that consider a input signal. Okay, so I can say I'm considering some input signal, and what I'm doing is that I'm giving this input signal to my transistor. Now, from here you can understand it. Okay. So what I'm doing is that I'm giving my input signal. Okay. And this input signal is being introduced to the transistor. So we have seen that when we are giving this transistor a input signal, we have got a low resistance path. So we can say that when the input signal is been coming to this transistor, it will going to have a low resistance path. And when we are taking the output, so let's say I'm taking the output from here. Okay, so this was my input and I'm taking the output from here. So when I'm taking the output, okay, so I'm talking about the output. So when we are talking about the output, I'm talking with respect to the high resistance path. So we are saying that the output which we are getting this output from the high resistance. So what we can say that we are transferring a signal. So this is my signal. I'm transferring my signal from the low resistance path to the high resistance path, or I can say from low resistance circuit to the high resistance circuit. So when we are talking about this transistor, now come to this. Okay, so we have got this trans word. So I'm highlighting it, this trans. Okay, so this trans means transfer, refer to a signal transfer property. And when we are talking about this resistor part, it refers to the with respect to the resistor family. It refers to the some resistor family. So therefore, what we are saying is that we are transferring the signal from the low resistance to the high resistance region. Okay, so transfer of low resistance into a high resistance region is also known as the transistor. So if I write it here like just for the sake of understanding, okay, so I write it transferred resistor, and if I delete this word, okay, I'm deleting this word and I'm deleting this res word, I will be getting a word combination of this as a TRAN as trans ISTOR transistor. So this is what a transistor is all about. I hope you have understand the actual meaning of this transistor.